What's going on, guys? So today is the day Sony released the A1 Mark II. This is their flagship camera, and this is kind of a complete redesign in a sense. They basically took a bunch of features that were in other cameras, like this guy right here, the Sony A7R5, and some other cameras, and put it into the Sony A1 Mark II, making this their new flagship camera. So the Sony A1 came out 3 years ago, and it was a great camera. It had a lot of great features that camera had at the time 3 years ago. But since then, Sony has released tons of other cameras, come up with new technology like AI and better autofocus and EVS and all sorts of different things that weren't in that camera and weren't really possible to be able to be put in that camera with firmware because of the lacking technology of that camera. So we're going to jump into it right now really quick. I'm just going to go over the specs. I'm actually reading this spec sheet directly off bnh.com, so just bear with me real quick. I'll put all the specs right here as well. So the Sony A1 Mark II has the same 50 megapixel full frame stacked BSI CMOS sensor. It also has AI tracking and human pose estimation. I have no idea what that means, but basically it probably just sees if there's a human in there. Same thing that this kind of does. It has the automatic tracking and all those features as well. It has 8K 30, 4K 120 video at 10-bit, which is crazy. I don't know if there's a crop or anything yet. I haven't been able to get a hands-on copy. Obviously, hopefully maybe I can hit up somebody through Sony, through pro support, but I highly doubt it because I couldn't even get anything above an R5. But regardless, maybe I think I'm going to buy one of these. I want to retire my A7 IV, which I'm shooting this on now, and I want to save up and get the A1 Mark II if it makes sense for me. And I think it might. It has that sweet spot. I think 50 megapixels, honestly, is such an amazing resolution. This is 61 megapixels, and it just destroys hard drives. Crazy clarity. It's insanely good. This is my baby. I love this camera, but you know, to have something with a little smaller resolution gives me a little better low light in video, etc., etc. So it has pre-capture, a speed boost button, which you'd see on like the A9 series and stuff like that. So this is actually something huge, and this is what I love. I'm so stoked that they put this on there, and I hope that with the A7 IV and future cameras that come out, they put this touchscreen on every camera. The Sony A7R5 touchscreen, this thing is absolutely incredible. When I first bought this camera, I thought it was a gimmick. I didn't think that I was gonna like it. I was like, why do I need to be able to flip this up when I could flip it out and over? But it comes in so handy, especially when you're shooting video handheld. You can keep it close, keep it flipped up. Absolutely love that they put that in the camera. What else? Dual CF Express Type A and SD card slots. So those are pretty much all the base specs. I'm sure there's a ton of other specs. And as you guys know, my channel is not a spec channel. If you want more detailed, go check out Gerald Undone. This guy is obviously insane. If you don't know who he is, you should. He breaks down everything. He'll go over all the details, do all the charts, do all that stuff. I just take pictures and make cool content. That's it. So I am so thrilled that they announced this. And unfortunately, I was trying to get out to New York to go hang out with some creators out there, get a hands-on perspective, go film some content, and I just couldn't get there. So if they have any events coming up in California, San Francisco, or LA, Sammy's camera, anything like that I can get a hands-on review for you guys, I will totally do that. Anyways, I wanted to keep this video super short, and I'm just stoked, man. Sony always pumps out new cameras, and what actually makes me more excited that they released this camera November, and I think that it's going to ship in December, is that other cameras, the A7 V, are just right behind it. So, you know, we're living in some crazy times with cameras and technology and things that are being released that, you know, we're just lucky, I guess. I don't know. I'm so stoked that we're getting these new cameras. And not only are we getting new cameras, but we're getting cameras that have things that we're asking for them to fix, right? We're asking for them to put these things into cameras. And Sony has always been so good about listening to their consumers, listening to their creators, and just implementing those changes and fixes like so quickly. I think that's also why we get so many cameras from Sony, is because, you know, they have a very strong, solid foundation when it comes to content creators and people who use their brand loyally, stuff like that, that they listen to us and they will fix things and put it into the next camera or into a firmware update or something like that. And that's always been something that has drew me to Sony. And Sony, if you guys are seeing this and want to send me an invite to Canada or something like that, I'd really appreciate it. But one day it's going to happen. It's going to happen, guys. But that is it. There's tons of creators making content on this camera that have hands-on cameras. As you guys know, this is my Sony a7R5 that was in the thumbnail. I love this camera. It is my baby. This is actually my second copy of this camera. The first copy kind of took a crap on me, and my second B cam is the Sony a7 IV, which I will be selling soon and hopefully putting money towards an A1 Mark II. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'll make sure to keep making content like this, and I'll see you in the future. If you like this, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Peace.